the galaxy far, far away was actually created a lot closer to home.
This is it, boys!
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 Brits who changed Star Wars forever. Before we begin, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we have gathered the greatest British contributors to George Lucas's epic space opera, assessing the UK's impact across every movie in the saga, and the standalone spin-off stories in the Anthology series. Though Star Wars is often considered an all-American affair, there are countless links between it and Britain. Don't believe us? Here's the proof.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Number 10, Elstree and Pinewood Studios. Okay, so our opening entry goes not to one person, but groups of people, all based in the UK. For the first trilogy and the 2015 reboot series especially, the majority of studio work took place in England. A New Hope was primarily conceived at Elstree Studios in Bournemouth, where the predominantly British crew were apparently unconvinced by Lucas's vision, comparing it to a children's movie. 38 years later, a major filming for The Force Awakens took place at Pinewood Studios in Buckinghamshire, with J.J. Abrams at the helm. Number 9, Pembroke Dock construction workers. Of all the Star Wars spaceships, Han Solo's Millennium Falcon is by far the most iconic, and it was built by British hands. Prop and set designers scoured scrapyards as inspiration for interior shots in the first film, while a team based at Pembroke Dock in Wales were commissioned to build a full-scale model for The Empire Strikes Back. Completed in 1979, the top-secret project was codenamed Magic Roundabout, and the unlikely story has since inspired local musicians and filmmakers.
Sir, the possibility of successfully navigating an asteroid field is approximately 3,720 to 1!
Never tell me the odds.
Number 8, John Stears. The unique aesthetics for the original Star Wars trilogy proved a massive reason for its immense popularity. The sets and props pushed sci-fi standards higher than ever before, and John Stears was behind most of them. An effects expert working alongside influential set designers including fellow Brit John Barry, Stears developed the look for C-3PO and R2-D2, controlling R2 in the first film.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
He also worked on Luke's Landspeeder, and he co-created the model for the Death Star, using Colin Campbell's concept art. Without him, the movie might have looked very different indeed. Number 7, John Boyega.
You remember me?
FN 2187.
Not anymore. The name's Finn, and I'm in charge. I'm in charge now, Phasma. I'm in charge. Bring it down.
British actors have long been an integral part of the Star Wars universe, with the likes of Sir Alec Guinness, Peter Cushing, and Ian McDiarmid taking some central roles. Even the original Darth Vader was physically played by the British bodybuilder David Prowse. But John Boyega led the line for The Force Awakens, as Finn was the first new character to appear in the very first trailer for the super hyped sequel. Some took issue with the Stormtroopers race, but Boyega rose above and proved a pivotal figure in the well-received reboot.
That lightsaber, it belongs to me. Come get it!
Number 6, London Symphony Orchestra.
John Williams and the London Symphony Orchestra, everybody!
It's possibly the most famous film score in the history of cinema, and it was first recorded at Anvil Studios in Denham. The music for Star Wars was written by John Williams, the celebrated American composer, but performed by the LSO, as well as the London Voices Choir. The New London Children's Choir was also involved throughout the prequel trilogy, while British involvement ended when a stateside orchestra was selected for Episode 7. Cue the Imperial March. Number 5, Tricia Bigger. The prequel trilogy proved a fair disappointment for many fans, with Episode 1, 2 and 3 criticised for their dreary storyline and an overuse of CGI. However, Tricia Bigger's work in costume design was a clear plus point for the films, as the Scot oversaw the creation of more than 1,000 intergalactic outfits. Her work served as a continuation of British control over Star Wars costumes, with John Mollo previously bagging an Oscar for his original work. Even in outer space, the Brits got style. Number 4, Gilbert Taylor. He was arguably the biggest British influence during day-to-day filming of the first Star Wars film, but he almost quit the production partway through.
A little short for a stormtrooper.
Cinematographer Gilbert Taylor worked on the inaugural picture, making countless stylistic decisions for how the movie should look. However, his relationship with George Lucas was famously fraught, and clashes between the pair were routine. Taylor stuck around just long enough to see the shootout, but wasn't involved in the sequels. His ideas were retained though, and the following films strive to recreate what Taylor had started. Number 3. Richard Marquand. As the first Brit to take the director's chair for a Star Wars movie, Richard Marquand was tasked with rounding off the original trilogy with Return of the Jedi. And it's fair to say, he did quite well. Following on from two of the most successful movies of all time, the film sees Luke, Han and Leia take on Jabba the Hutt, before a string of revelations and an intense final battle. We should also give a nod to Gareth Edwards here, the British director behind Rogue One, the first installment in the Anthology series.
Congratulations, you are being rescued. Please do not resist.
Number 2. Daisy Ridley. Playing the central role in The Force Awakens, Daisy Ridley emerged from relative acting obscurity to become one of the most recognised faces on the planet.
You're afraid that you will never be as strong as Darth Vader.
As Rey, she starts off a scavenger before encountering Finn, engaging the Force and fighting off the First Order.
So you're with the Resistance?
Obviously. Yes, I am.
And that's before she even gets to Luke. Alongside Felicity Jones and backed up by Carrie Fisher in one of her last roles, Daisy fronts a new era of strong female characters, and she gets to roll with BB-8. Not bad.
In the morning you go.
Number 1. Roger Christian. We very nearly awarded top spot to the guys who created Yoda, makeup artist Stuart Freeborn and Nick Dudman, but the series can thank British design for the lightsaber too.
What is it? Your father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Roger Christian proved an influential figure throughout the first trilogy, revolutionising how sci-fi films should look by building sets and props out of junk materials. But his best known invention is the saga's iconic weapon of choice. Christian earned an Oscar for art direction on Star Wars, as the lightsaber became a standout symbol for the entire franchise.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo UK and subscribe for more great content.